So you're probably sitting there thinking, okay, this all sounds great and this money sounds amazing, but let's talk the real stuff. Like, let's talk the struggles. How do we work through some of these struggles? And that's exactly it. I learned a lot of these lessons the hard ways. I've fielded questions, and I want you to raise your hand if you've heard any of these and tell me that you're with me. Can you just send me the gallery? Love it. Oh, snap. Why is this so expensive? Right? Aren't digitals free? Right? Anyone else get that question? It's just a digital. Can't you just send it to me? I can buy them myself way cheaper. My husband will never go for that. Getting other family members on boards. My parents will never go for that. Or I get to download everything though, right? Like, yeah, I want to buy a few prints, but I still get to download everything. So let's get real, you guys. The only way to have effective virtual sales is to properly prepare your clients for the experience and the investment. And this starts before they even meet you. Okay. So if you're worried about the sale and the sale going well, I want you to stop right there. It's not even about the sale. By the time they get to that sale, they are going to be so well prepared that they are literally going to hand you their checkbook, right? Or their credit card number online. It's so much more about the very beginning. And that starts with redefining what you're offering. Redefine the end product. So many of us, especially here at United, have these beautiful, gorgeous websites showcasing all these styled shoots and these beautiful fantasy weddings and these gorgeous portfolio images. But it's not about the portfolio images, you guys. It's about the portfolio images on a work of art. So are you showcasing the end service that you want your clients to be thinking about? If you're only showcasing your images, they're going to expect downloads. If you're showcasing your images as a work of art, they're going to want the art. You have to show what you want to see. So the header section of our website is a video header that walks us through people holding prints, hanging wall art, flipping through albums. I'm conditioning the prospective leads that land on my site to start thinking about that first thing they see. You have to do it within those first initial seconds. We have, there it goes, a designated heirloom section on our site so that when people are clicking through, considering whether they want to work with us or not, they're seeing all these beautiful things that we have to offer along with testimonials there. Social sales. We get about 4 to 5 inquiries a week just through Instagram. So I want the experience to be the same for someone that lands on my Instagram portfolio, right? I want them to not only see the beautiful images that we offer, but I want them to see the products, the prints, the reception books. So that way they start thinking about those things and how they want them in their own lives. We send out a questionnaire afterwards. Now, mind you, this is all over our brand. By the time they fill out a questionnaire, a contact form, and we send a questionnaire, we are looking for key phrases like, what's the most important thing to you? This bride answered, having photos to adorn the walls of our future home that bring us right back to the emotions and feelings of the days that we would love to create. Hello, ideal client, right? But if you're not putting that out there, they're not going to be triggered to say those things, right? So you have to train your prospective leads to start thinking about these things. This is the first time that they've been married, right? Step 2, set clear expectations from the start and then again and again and again. So it starts from the beginning and you have to continuously remind them. So when they come in for that initial consult or you're doing it virtually with them via Skype meeting or maybe even over the phone, you can say things like, listen, the longevity and the value of these investments, the prints, the albums, the heirlooms, yes, it is an investment. Yes, it is. You're probably going to be spending a lot more than you initially thought, but the value and the longevity of these investments far exceed the other items that you may be considering when allocating your wedding funds. What I'm essentially saying here is skip the designer shoes, okay? Or skip the flowers that are going to be dead tomorrow. Right? These are the things that matter, and you have to start talking to your clients about them from the very beginning. When we meet up, so we meet up virtually via a Zoom meeting, which is essentially Skype or FaceTime with our clients from the very beginning. So if they're not local and they can't come to our studio, we will meet up in a Zoom meeting. And these are a few of the slides from that presentation. So we start by explaining why albums and heirlooms are so important to us in that initial meeting. And we talk about the fact that we have the opportunity to travel all over the country in our slow season to meet representatives from other labs and find those industry leading products so that we are the only ones in our market that come back with these amazing products, right? That's how we position our difference to our clients. And then we talk about how we're going to deliver that to them and what that means to them. We're going to talk about the fact that this is so much better than digital delivery. Do you get that, guys? It's a mindset shift. They're going to be asking for the digital delivery and you're going to say, no. Like, this is way better. Like, you don't even know. Your mind's about to be blown. We're going to meet up. You can have your mom there. You guys together, grab a bottle of wine, champagne. You'll be behind the computer. I'm going to show you your album design. You'll have an album pre-designed ready to go when your images are ready, right? Within that 2-week mark or whatever your turnaround time is. So it's shifting the language of how you talk about this. This is the number one question I get when I talk to photographers. When do you start talking about the price point of heirlooms, right? How early do you start talking about it? Right from the beginning. And this is how we do it. So this is our top collection. We've sold one ever in our history of careers. But yet our average client account wavers around this mark, right? So with photo and cinema, we are averaging about $18,000 to $21,000 per client. Now, the reason why I find it so essential to have like this baller collection is not because I expect my clients to book it. It's because it opens up the opportunity to talk about heirlooms and condition them to make that investment down the line. So we talk about, yeah, you're going to get all the photo stuff in the world. You're going to get all the cinema. This is where we start changing the mindset, right? We talk about the fact that, okay, you're going to get this gorgeous fine art wedding album. You're going to get the framed print, and I'm able to show them what that size looks like because I have one behind me on the wall when I'm doing this virtual meeting. I'm going to say, look, it's that size right there. So you can see, if you have a place in your home that's about the same wall size. An engagement album, 2 parent albums in this folio box. Now they're going to be sitting to themselves. First of all, they're going to be like, $21,000. No way. Like, I can't, they're not going to be able to swallow that right away. And then they're going to start going through all the heirlooms and they're going to say, well, I do want at least a 20 by 24. And I know my parents are definitely going to want parent albums. And I'm probably going to want an engagement album too. And a folio box to like send out prints to like grandma and my godparents. And now they're like, okay, like I'm probably going to want all this stuff. So when I go down a collection and show them the difference, that's when we start talking about pricing. It's like, okay, if 15,000 or 19,000 is a little bit more digestible for you, that's great. You will be missing out on some of these options. And that's when we start to talk about the fact that a parent album starts at 1,400. So if you know you're going to want that, just consider that investment, right? So it's starting the conversation. So I'm not handing them over an entire pricing sheet of every option that I offer because that gets overwhelming. Because then they're going to be like, I have no clue what I want. They're going to start to back up and they're just going to fold. And you're not going to book them and they're definitely not going to buy more prints, right? After they book, we send them home with our experience guide. This is our studio magazine. It walks them through all the pricing. So all the pricing is now in this experience guide. We talk about the experience of what that one-on-one sales session is going to look like and then what they can expect from working with us. This is a snippet of one page. I like to show this page when I talk about print sales because again, it's changing the language. So I say things like the much anticipated design session to get them excited about the experience. We talk about the fact that after each photographic experience, meaning engagement, if they do bridal boudoir, if they do a family session, the wedding, after each photographic experience, they can expect to have this one-on-one personalized experience. And shop our studio of luxury heirlooms, right? Then we say things like most couples invest $3,500 or more on photographic art because again, I want them to be conditioned to hearing those prices and start to digest them, right? And it's kind of like, you guys, it's kind of like when the new iPhone comes out and you're like, what? Right? But then you end up buying it because like you condition yourself for that price point down the road, right? It's the same thing. Once you start talking about it up front, then your clients are like, okay, like I'm going to want this. We say things like, you will finalize all product orders at the time of the design session. Because for some reason, once it's in print, once it's in there, it's like a studio policy. And now they don't ask, right? When you say it like, okay, we're going to try and finalize your order tonight. They're like, can I have another day? Can I get back to you? But once it's kind of in there, it's like solidified in their mind. It's like all of a sudden it becomes like real life because it's in print. While we're prepping for the engagement session or before we photograph them, we send out this pre-session questionnaire. We ask them, what products are you interested in? So right off the bat, what do you want to buy? Number one question. What is the goal of this session? What do you want to walk away with? Describe your current home or living situation. What are the colors in those rooms? What, do you have any specific needs? Now, these are all like fake questions. I call them fake questions because it doesn't really matter. The point of asking these questions is that they're getting up and they're walking around their home and they're saying, oh, we could probably put something there, or like, you know what, we should move those prints because like we've had them since like ages ago and we should put something there. Or maybe they don't live together yet. And now she's on Pinterest designing her entire house, right? For when they finally move in together. And now your artwork is in the forefront of her mind. And then again, I reiterate, the studio policies. Your design session will be the first time you see your photos. We will finalize your order at the time of the design session. Yada, 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 right? All of the policies, I'm reminding them again before we even photograph them. Then, about a week before the session, we get on the phone, okay? How many of you guys are actually calling your clients before the session? Please, God, tell me you're raising your hands. Come on, you guys, there's gotta be more than that. You have to be calling your clients before the session. No, not to talk about wardrobe. No, not to tell them that you're gonna show up on time or where to meet you. All of that's important, but that can be done in an email. The point of getting them on the phone is to talk them through the value of what they're gonna walk away with. Even with engagement photos, because they might be thinking they want their engagement photos to go on a save the date, and you're thinking you want it to be a huge piece of art in their home, right? You need to talk about that on the phone. So you need to say things like, I know we chose to do your engagement session in Boston because that's where you guys first met for the first time. And I'm so excited to be able to showcase the beginning of your relationship in this story so that years from now, when your kids look at it, it can give them like a little bit of it can be a little piece of your puzzle. You can tell that story about how you guys first met and you used to take walks on Beacon Street, or you used to go downtown and visit the Pru, or you would go out for the parades, right? It's all part of creating this visual experience for your clients of what their future selves want, right? You have to do that ahead of time. You can do that on the phone. You can't do that in an email. You have to get on the phone. And on the phone, you can handle some of those objections. So if they start saying things like, yeah, we live in a small house, like, I don't think we're going to be interested in wall art, you can say things like, okay, we work with a lot of couples in metro cities that don't have a ton of wall space. And what we do, actually, it's really cool, is we'll offer you a collection. So you get a bundle of different print sizes, and you might want to hang one or two now or separate them in your apartment now. And then when you guys get your forever home, you can put it all back together like it's a beautiful new work of art. And like the moment you say forever home, you have them sold, right? Because it's they're visualizing their future self. You're creating this magic, right? And now it's not about selling the product. It's about selling the experience that the products are going to give them. When you're shooting them, you're talking about not how good they look. Yes, that's important. But you're talking about how beautiful it's going to look on their wall, how crazy their friends are going to go when they walk into their house and see these photos for the first time, right? Bring the products with you. So if you're thinking to yourself, I can't communicate the value, or I definitely can't charge premium pricing if I'm not showing them how great these products are, right? Bring them with you when you photograph their engagement session. So you can talk, and I like to do this before we even shoot because I want to set the tone. Like, this is what we're here for. We are not here for you to have a new Instagram profile picture. We are not here for you to send out like a quirky save the date, right? We are here to create a beautiful work of art and commemorate this time in your lives. So start with this, set the tone. Here's some of the beautiful stories that we've told in this location. Bring a sample album. Show what you want to sell. Do you think I show up at an engagement session with a 5x5 mini album just because it's easy to carry? No, I'm going to bring my baller 10x10, 12x12 engagement album with all the add-ons, the acrylic covers, right? The deep matte paper, all the beautiful things. Because once I show that to them, they're never going to go for an 8x8 or a 5x5, right? You want to show what you want to sell. Put it in their hands. Literally just hand it to them. Hey, I created this album for a couple. I think you're going to love it. Take a second and look through it. Once they're feeling it, that's going to communicate the value. And then I like to ask them at the end of the session, so what part was your favorite? Did you like the first location? Did you like the second location? Blah, 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 blah. And then that gives me the opportunity to solidify the full experience. I love that session. I love that location too. That's going to be the one that looks epic on your wall. I took this beautiful wide shot. I think it's going to be perfect for right over the couch where you guys said you were looking for something, right? You're reminding them of what that goal is. Then you've shot the session, right? You're coming back to your studio and you need to remind them that now is the time for the design session. So you need to send out that email reminder. Now, again, we're just reminding them of the same things over and over and over again. Why? Because no one reads their emails. You have to tell them a million times. Confirm the date, time, and directions if you're doing it in person, or give them instructions if you're going to be doing it virtually. Tell them ahead of time you're going to have to download Skype or Zoom. State the goal or timeline. You want to make sure they know the expected time commitment so that they're not like, hey, my neighbor's here, I have to head out, we're going to get drinks. No, like, this is going to take at least 2 hours of your time, so make sure you plan accordingly. Attach the pricing and ask them to look at it again, right? Reiterate that they will place and pay for their order before they leave. I can't tell you how important this is, you guys. If you're walking in here and you're saying to myself, I don't think I can ask my clients to make a decision that quickly, this is not going to work for you. And I'm going to tell you the hard way. You have to be committed to helping them. And I'm not saying forcing them. I'm saying helping them make that decision at the time of the design session. Because if they're not able to make a decision, that means that they're feeling overwhelmed and you didn't do your job well enough. Okay. So you have to get in that mindset. If they're feeling overwhelmed, the worst thing you can do is let them walk out the door, because now there's less heirlooms in their hands and on their walls and you have no money, right? It's a lose-lose situation. And then explain what happens next. So for us, we don't offer the online gallery until they've placed their order. So once they've decided which images they want to keep, I'll put any of those purchased images on an online gallery, and I want to explain that to them. Why? Because I don't want them to ask for the online gallery until we finalize the design session, right? So a lot of times if people want to reschedule, they're like, can you just send me the gallery? No. The way that this works is you decide what you want to keep, and then all of your favorites we will put up in an online gallery and you can share with whoever you like. Step 3, offer simple solutions. You are not a convenience store. You are providing a luxury service, and you need to make sure that you are streamlining your clients to make the right decisions. You know what is going to look best with your imagery, right? If you are this contrasty, poppy, modern, industrial photographer, choose products that accentuate that type of work. If you are romantic and airy and timeless and classic, choose products that will resonate with that style of work. Just because a lab offers a million different product options does not mean you have to do that as well. Step 4, focus on opening up a relationship, not just closing a sale. Once you start to get addicted to the amount of money you will be making doing this, it's easy to think about, I have to close the sale, I have to close the sale, I have to close the sale. And while that might make you feel like a terrible person, you really just need to make sure that you're focused on providing an elevated service to your clients. And so the way that I do that is actually very systematic. So I like to make sure I know what they have in their collection already. Because if I don't know what they have already, I don't know how I can serve them. Then I like to think about what they want. So what they answered in that questionnaire, certain areas of their home, right? You should know before the sale what they want. You might be able to shift that in the sale and get them to buy more, but you need to walk into it knowing what they already want. Create an irresistible offer. This comes down to your collections. No, I am not saying you should customize a collection for every client, but I do think that you'll start to see a pattern. If your wedding collections are one thing, your print collections should supplement that in a positive way, right? Listen to their objections. It's going to be super helpful for you to know what they're hesitating about, right? And then offer your perspective, tell your story, talk about why it's important to have print. And then sprinkle in a social mission. So we started doing this 2 years ago, where we would donate a portion of the proceed to every album that we sold to Room to Read, which is an international organization that funds the libraries of children in third world countries. So when we're able to talk about that to our clients, it makes them feel good about upgrading their album, right? And then more recently, we started printing our canvases in-house, and the canvas that we use to print our wall art on is from recycled plastic that has been, I guess, removed from oceans. So we're able to talk about that with our clients and make them feel better about the investments that they're making. This is not a selling point. It's just kind of like, hey, we're doing good, right? It makes them want to work more and work with you more and invest more with you. And then step 5, follow up and ask for that social proof. I used to be afraid of asking for feedback because I knew I would take it very personally. But the moment we started asking for feedback, we started asking for unboxing videos. We started asking people to hashtag HCO heirlooms when they get their new products. A whole world opened up, and our clients were so proud to share images of their products. And then their friends were seeing that and wanted to work with us. And they didn't just want to work with us because they saw us at a wedding. They wanted to work with us because they wanted an album, right? When we started asking our clients for testimonials, like these beautiful testimonials started coming in. If you think your pictures look good on your computer, wait till you see Makayla's work blown up. Definitely worth the investment. Now we're able to constantly look at and remember such an exciting time in our lives. This is so much more powerful than you selling your products because your clients are selling your products for you, right? And then we designated recently, actually it's been over a year now, when we relaunched our website, we did an entire section, not just blogging our weddings, but blogging also what they purchased. So again, redefining that end product and talking about what the clients walked away with, because every Pinterest bride out there wants to be better and more unique than the last Pinterest bride. So by showcasing what Jessica got, Tori wanted to go bigger and better than Jessica, and now we're selling more as a result. So to recap, redefining the end products. Photos of products everywhere. Discuss the virtual or in-person process before they book you, before the shoot, and before the sales session. Start by offering 1 to 3 products max. If you are getting overwhelmed with the amount of products out there, your client is definitely getting overwhelmed. So when you have some time to kind of shop some of the vendors that are down there, some of the labs that are here, pick out a few products that they offer and just hone in on learning everything you can about those products. Remember the goal: everyone leaves happier than when they came. Ask for feedback and share the experience. If you want to take a proactive approach, what I did when I was fielding all these objections and difficult situations was I would start writing them down so I could remember how to answer them eloquently without getting super nervous and all clammed up. I created a little pretty document that we now send out to our clients when we get that email that says like, okay, but what about the digitals? I send this out. It's called The Benefits of Professional Prints, and it walks them through exactly what they can expect by purchasing, those elevated products, by investing in something that's a little bit higher quality. I'm not going to go through this because I just went through it with you in detail, but if you want to take a snapshot of this is our entire workflow. So I walked you through exactly what we do through every step of the way. And I'll post this in our Facebook group too so that you guys can see. But just to recap on like what the workflow looks like and how you have to be talking about the print process every step of the way. Now, why is this so important? Why is this consistency factor so important? Because you need to make sure every client receives the same communications. So if you don't have like a client management system or something that can, and who is here, but does what is it, Pixify? Are they here? Yeah. So if you don't have like a client management system, definitely go talk to those guys. It's going to save you tons of time. Not only that, but it's going to elevate your client experience because now every client will be getting that questionnaire. Every client will be getting the same confirmation. Every client will be getting the pricing, and you won't have to remember, oh shoot, did I actually do that with this client? Or so that way when they get to the sales session, they've already received everything they need to in order to make a successful sale. Continuous reminders make you top of mind. So if you're consistently talking about prints and you're posting on Instagram and you're showing the behind the scenes, it's constantly reminding them top of mind, right? We all know like how Facebook and Instagram ads work, where you search for one thing and now all of a sudden you're seeing it every single day, right? We have to do that a little bit for our clients to remind them when they're going to buy those Louboutin shoes that they should actually be saving that money for their wedding album, right? And it gives you stronger brand power. So what I've noticed is the more I focus on heirlooms, the more clients I get that want heirlooms because that's what my brand has become. And so now people are investing more because they know that that's my specialty. So outside of all of this, like what I could have done differently despite every single roadblock along the way is honestly none of it matters. What I really wish I knew was I wish I had started sooner. I wish I was not so afraid when I first started out to do this. And I wish I would have stopped sending galleries sooner so that way I could start making more money right away. Because you're going to fail. You're going to flop. You're going to have 0 sales. You're going to walk away feeling like you totally just crumbled the entire sale. That's going to happen. But without those moments, you're never going to have the epic sales, right? You're never going to reach the $13,000 client average.